Hello everyone, in this video I will tell you the top 10 facts about former US President Donald Trump. 1 fact. Donald has always liked this circumstance, and he often makes puns about it to himself. And initially it sounded like Trumpf, so the word Trump will be in German. Donald's grandfather brought the surname to America from Rhineland-Palatinate. 2 fact. This conclusion was made at Carnegie Mellon University in the course of a study that studied the vocabulary and stylistic techniques used by the last dozen presidents in their election speeches. All the presidents talked to their constituents, so to speak, squatting down. Speechwriters and image makers carefully process texts so that the widest public can understand them. So that there are no incomprehensible words, complex logical constructions and other horrors of higher education. But if the Bushes, Obamas and other Clintons usually used a dictionary corresponding to the norm of a 7 to 8 grade student, then Trump appeals to a maximum of 5th graders. For example, he tries to use words longer than 2 syllables as rarely as possible. The only 3-syllable word that often flashes in his speeches is America. But there's nothing you can do about it, it's quite difficult to avoid this word. 3 fact. Information about this phrase has spread all over the world. But the phrase itself, upon closer examination, turned out to be pulled out of context and is far from so unambiguous. The words, execute, and torture, could also refer to the terrorists themselves, while Trump definitely promised only to persecute their relatives. When he was reminded that such persecution would be contrary to international law, since it would introduce a prohibited norm of collective responsibility, Trump thought and said that the law, including international law, is above all. And therefore, after becoming president, he would not order the army to pursue relatives of terrorists. Unless he gets a revision of this law in advance. 4 fact. And it's not even about Trump's ubiquitous commercial empire, but the fact that for many years he has been one of the most popular showmen of American television. He hosted many popular favorite programs, and in contemplation of his face on the screen, a great many Americans grew up, to whom he is, consider, a native person. 5 fact. One of the most high-profile scandals of Trump's election campaign happened on the 1st of March in Kentucky. Then the politician's guards, healthy white men in uniform, beat a black Protestant who came to the rally with a placard accusing Trump of racism. 6 fact. Donald has put forward a proposal for mandatory registration of all Muslim Americans with the aim of more extensive control over them. Well, he also considers it necessary to prohibit persons professing Islam from entering the United States in general. 7 fact. Trump would probably be the worst choice for the planet, but in the short term, the most desirable partner for the Kremlin. He has repeatedly hinted that Russia has its own right to be strong in its region, and in business it is better for strong partners to be friends against any shelopony, so to speak. In general, these guys could speak the same language. The mentality is about the same. 8 fact. He's a brilliant salesman. That's why Trump is so successful in political debates and speeches. He really knows how to control the thoughts of the interlocutor, unless the interlocutor is too smart, critical and independent for this. But this part of the buyers can always be neglected, because there are always very few of them everywhere. 9 fact. Trump twice got into a financial hole, in the early 90s and at the height of the mortgage crisis of the 2000s. It came to partial bankruptcy, but both times he managed to turn around again and win back the lost positions, even returning some money to the people affected by his mistakes. 10 fact. For many years, Trump has been sleeping only 4 hours a day, and that's enough for him. Some critics cautiously hint that a chronic half-century of sleep deprivation has led to some problems with Donald's mentality, and this explains his extravagance. But in general, Donald, at 69 years old, is healthy as a bull. He almost never gets sick, weighs 100 kilograms with a height of 192 centimeters and simply bursts with energy. Thank you all for watching, have a good day.